money for Ireland. You can have a whip around. You know the rules. $25, they can give you 4 times during the campaign, 4 months. You have an 11-month campaign. You have really, you know, in comparison to the hard scrabble it is for small community organizations to raise, say, 100 grand, you know, to keep them going. You guys, with all the machinery and the 10%ers and, well, okay, sorry.
Okay, please, I know we're familiar with Mr. Farrell. Let him give his answers, and please do not heckle. Councillor Hevick's heckling of Councillor De Beermaker was rather amusing, but I should have said, please don't do it again. Okay, let's let Mr. Farrell answer his questions, and please, members, if you could ask some substantive questions. Okay, we know what Mr. Farrell's views are. He supports this. And the questions are supposed to be about that. Go ahead, Mr. Farrell.
I hope you work it out, because it's the future of politics, getting lots of people from small donations.
Okay.
CF Barack Obama.
Okay, if Councillor Minnan-Wong could please stop heckling and debating Councillor McConnell and vice versa over here. You've both been elected for a very long time. You know the rules. Let's show some respect to the deputy, please. Okay, Councillor Hevick to question.
Thank you, and thank you for not heckling. But no. I want to follow up a little bit, and I'm supportive of this initiative, so I asked this question as friend. I'm just wondering whether we are making the right relationship, because it seems to me you're making the relationship between the individual voter, and the donor. And you're saying that you must be, to be a donor, you should be the voter. So you're drawing a linkage between citizenship and donor. What about non-resident owners? Should they be is the work ahead? I'm wondering if you could comment on this. After this is, I hope this gets passed, but after this, is not the next, where do you see the next level going, and the next step going? And I'd like you to comment on non-resident owners, who basically, if they own property in Barrie and Muskoka or whatever, they can vote there and they can vote here. And whether that should be something that should be curtailed, that you can only vote where your primary residence is, or and not where your business is, or your second home. And then the second question is does it have to be a citizen? Could it be a resident that votes? Or should we be saying no to non-citizen residents who may want to donate? Could you comment on those pieces?
I think the 2 votes scenario is a vestige of the property base for the franchise. That you got the franchise because you own property, and it's old, and something should be done about it. It was one of the things we asked in the provincial law. The issue of the residents, I think residents can give money. They have a big impact on the councillor, who the councillor is a big impact on their business, on their life. Should they be allowed to vote? That's a really good question, and I see terrific things in its favor, and then there is the concern about dilution of the franchise, if you will, in its opposition. But you know, there has to be more engagement, and in a way, this was part of years ago the mayor's plan for engagement. I think there was more engagement on the clean and beautiful city than there is in the civic engagement level, but civic engagement is a feature of life. Every month you have your statutory planning meetings, you have people come here, you have lots of people coming in and out. The ones, when you lose, the deflation is unbelievable. People don't realize how cut and dried it is around here. These initiatives will help to people feel that they belong, that this is a part of them, so that there is no privileged sort of people who can donate twice. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Havoc. Perhaps you anticipated that I'd had a submission from a member of council pointing out that I should keep you on topic. So, Deputy Mayor Pantaloni,
Yes, through you, Mr. Mayor.
I crossed you off.
Neither you nor the other deputants addressed the question of whether it is appropriate to fund elections through rebates in terms of the taxpayers. Sometimes we take things for granted. Could you comment as to whether, the City of Toronto should be continuing its contribution rebate program for the 2010 election, and whether that is good or bad, and so forth?
Absolutely, it should, because you've got to encourage participation. You have a level of participation in general in the election that is, it's nearly crisis. In terms of engagement. That's because it's so Byzantine and so complicated, and people don't understand that everybody is a party of one. There's no party positions. So you're left with the press gallery to form an impression out there as to what councillor is or what councillor isn't. So,
So the rebate program then, does it somewhat narrow the people's ability to contribute, if you will? Because if you're wealthy, presumably, whether you get a rebate or not, does it really matter? And if you're poor, however, or you're working, then the rebate can make the difference, does it?
oh, sure, it'll make the difference. The problem is coming up with 100 because it's the small amount. And that really something should be done about that, because it's not fair. As I say, over the course of a campaign, you might pay $25 in, a couple of times for a candidate, but they don't add up. Yes, but it should be sort of geared to income or something. I don't know.
I missed Councillor Moscow. Can't believe that, but I did. Councillor, go ahead.
Clarify a couple of points you made in your submission. You indicated correctly that it's not legal for related corporations to make contributions that exceed the maximum. Okay, and then you suggest that it's all right for related individuals who own corporations to make contributions. I could go into a boardroom and ask everybody to write a check, and that's okay because they would have no influence. Isn't that a bit inconsistent?
That they won't have any influence?
Yes. If related individuals, if 6 individuals, related individuals, own a company and they all make substantive contributions, that's okay in your submission. But it's
Yeah, but
and so how is that different?
Well,
how does that diminish their influence?
the way in the people in the third category down, the 509 donations, lawyers, consultants, lobbyists, and business services. Normally, what you do is you give the money to the lawyer, and you say that's from X corporation, and you don't have to worry about it. Your name is not in the thing. That's the bundling. Now, if the fact that 4 or 5 people are making a combined, they will remember and they will make sure the councillor knows or the candidate knows that these were made.
So these individuals will know, and the candidate will know, and how will the public know if, in fact, they're donating as individuals?
Well, they're donating. They have every right to donate as individuals.
Right.
What the public won't know is whether it came in after the election date, between the 4th of November or the 31st, and where I often wondered about why the firefighters never donate to a losing candidate. And I said, oh, well, that's why. It's just after the election they send the checks in.
But we're straying from my question. My question was, right, under the present system, if a corporation donates and related corporations donate, you know. But if the individual principals donate under your system, we'll never know.
Well, you don't know because if you knew they were related, you couldn't take the donation. And the point is, if 2,000 employees of XYZ Manufacturing wanted to make a donation, they would sort of appear. The point is, it's, you know, you'll say yourself the 750 doesn't make any difference. Will the 750 make any difference to your tax return in the end, or to your candidate disclosure?